Let's face it, life isn't easy. If you're stuck in a bad relationship, betrayed or afraid of tomorrow, financially insecure, or desperate for a breakthrough, you've come to the right place. Dr. Carmen Harra is a renowned psychologist, intuitive, relationship expert, and best-selling author, and she's here to give you the miracle guidance you need. Her new call-in show, Miracle Guidance for Everyday Life, offers profound wisdom, practical advice, daily exercises, and empowering predictions, all for you. Dr. Harra's show aims to eliminate everyday problems, big and small, with topics like healing your relationships, reclaiming your power, achieving better health, dealing with loss, and so much more. Regain the joy, stability, and fulfillment you deserve to feel. Tune in to Miracle Guidance for Everyday Life with host Dr. Carmen Harra, live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, and find the answers you've been looking for.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Carmen Harra, OMTimes Radio, on my show called Miracle Guidance for Everyday Life. And I'm so excited because tonight I have a great topic, a topic that I love. I always enjoy talking about relationship solutions, because it's no secret that love relationship can be complex, can be confusing, and can be downright problematic. So the truth is that in the real world, perfect relationships don't really exist. The best kind of love isn't ideal by any means. On the contrary, long-lasting relationship pass the test of time because both partners work very hard to overcome serious discrepancies. So what holds two souls together is very important to know, so we're going to talk about it. I will also remind you that this is a calling show, so my greatest pleasure is to connect with you directly. So feel free to call in with your love questions and with whatever type of questions you might have, because I'm here just to help you walk through the most common dilemmas, and offer you guidance through your action in order to take life to another level of power and to create the positive changes in your life. So call in because, as you said, this is your call. And the number to call in is 202-570-7057. And my producer, Christopher, is so wonderful, and he will take your calls and will be able to speak freely about your problems. And I'm always receiving a suggestion from you. If you need a certain topic, if you have an idea for me, I will absolutely appreciate that. But as I said, tonight we're talking about relationship, and relationship can be very complex, can be very problematic, sometimes can be confusing. So this type of relationship can make a serious effect on your well-being, impairing your ability to think rationally, or sometimes to distinguish right from wrong. So when you experience problems in your relationship, strong emotion take over and all logic goes out a window. You can feel overwhelmed, you can feel lost, you can feel angry, you can feel hopeless. And I've seen this in my practices. People come to me all the time when they go through situations like this. And I see that how those extreme emotions make the problem even worse and actually prolong the bad phase that you are going through. So it's important in this moment to stop and to introspect. And, I know people bicker and fight when times are tough, and they even take things too hard. But the most relationship can be, balanced, and things can be resolved as long as you act and react in the right way. But many times we don't do this because we require time to process what's going on and how to find the right solution. But if you act right, or if you act, at the full understanding, you can find a solution. But if you act on desperation, you can make serious mistakes. And I know it's easy to talk. When you're in the situation, you can't control yourself. These mistakes will make the problem that you already have 100 times worse. So whatever you're experiencing in your life right now, if you go to a breakup, if you sort of fight with your significant other, if you go through a divorce, if you go through a hard time with your health, now you need to understand that you need to take your time and introspect and meditate on it. That's why I meditate, like stay in silence and start to understand the situation from different angle. You know, many times when you go through a hard time, you have to ask yourself a number of questions. And I'm going to start by giving you some questions that I want you to have in mind. Like, for instance, you going through this hard time, I'm telling you. The first question that you ask yourself in those moments when you're in silence, when you talk to your own self, the number one question is, why is this happening? What is the bigger reason behind the problem that I'm having? Why am I divorcing? Why is this happening to me? And what is exactly the reason? So, in order to sometimes give yourself the right answer, you have to go to the second question, which is, how would I advise someone else to handle this situation? Okay, let's say it's not me divorcing, it's my neighbor divorcing. How would I guide my neighbor that I care for, or my sister, or somebody I'm close to, or my best friend? What would be my advice for them to resolve their problem? Because then you detach yourself from your own pain and you try to see this from a different perspective. Now, the third question is, how can I prevent this problem from happening again? Let's say, okay, we decided to stick with each other. How can I prevent this from happening? What steps can I take to make this an issue that will go away and it's not going to become a reoccurring issue? And then another question is, in what ways should I approach my partner so that he truly understands where I'm coming from, and he is receptive to making the necessary changes? And as you know, it takes two people. So if I am the one working on this, that's not good enough. I want him to be working with me. So we have to be together into it. And we have to allow the rational mind as much as the intuitive mind, the two sides of you, the two hemispheres of the brain, to work together. Because you will be tapping into the knowledge of how to overcome an obstacle in life or an obstacle in a relationship, but you must be able to distinguish between what it is, you know, that you're hearing in your mind from a positive perspective, or what is your fear telling you. So you have to quiet your mind and distinguish the true voice that exists within yourself. Sometimes we call it the voice of the divine. That is guiding you in the right direction. And again, I'm going to take your calls in a minute, and I want to see who's here with me, because I know I have some people. I have Jenny from California. I have Susan. So I have wonderful new callers. I think I have Dominguez, who's my very dear friend. So I'm going to take your calls in a minute so that we can speak. I know probably my signal is not that great. I don't understand why. That has a lot to do with I'm going to ask my producer if the signal is better. I can't control this. This is all the world of electronics that I'm not so good at. But I also want to give you during the show some tips of how to solve relationship problem, which are the solutions, the most effective steps you can take towards resolving the challenges in your relationship. And one of the things I think, the number one thing that you can do is change your attitude. You know, you change your attitude, you change your thinking, and you shift the energy of the situation entirely. And probably you're going to tell me, oh, that's so easy to say, but it's so hard to do. But I will teach you how you can do it. Meanwhile, I want to tell you that I want you to be my friend on Skype, on Facebook, be my friend on all the social media. And I do a lot of lives on Facebook, for instance. I'm going to be next Tuesday 4 p.m. Eastern Time live on Facebook, so you can be with me and you can ask me directly. You can write to me. I usually take as many people as I can during the live, and I'm answering questions also. So you get to see me and we can work directly this way. Or if you want to just schedule a session with me, I offer for the next week, buy one, get one free. You get one session for you and one you can give to somebody else, to one of your best friends who eventually needs one and goes through a period in which they need some guidance. So as you know, I'm a therapist, so I work with people in many ways, and I'm so fascinated with the medical field, with the way the mind works, that I just want to be at service. And again, you can be my friend on all the social media. You can subscribe and watch my YouTube channels, and you can sign up at carmenharra.com. My last book is Karma Queen's Guide to Relationship. I'm finishing a new book right now that is also about the human behavior, about the commitment concept and the archetype that exists within ourselves. So I think I have an interesting topic in my new book. But at any rate, my show today is your show. So I'm going to go and take, I think, one of my first caller. Let's see who I can. I'm going to take Jenny from California because she's, I think, new to my show. How, my dear Jenny? Thank you so much for calling me. Can you hear me?
Harra?
Yes, it's
Yes,
me, Jenny.
You.
Thank you
How
so
are
much,
you?
Jenny, for calling me. I'm so excited to talk to you.
I'm excited
Can you hear
to
me?
talk to you as well. I
Perfect.
can hear you.
Okay, my love. So let's see in which way I can help you. So you feel free to ask me and tell me what's important for you and what is going on in your life right now that I can help you with.
The most important thing for me right now is I'm at a stage. I'm 38, and I'm at a stage in my life where I'm looking for a life partner, and I'm ready to settle down. None of my relationships have worked out so far, and recently I've been dating a guy for the last 3 months, and he's the first guy that really hasn't walked away from the relationship when there has been problems. But sometimes I feel like there are more problems, and there's actually more bad than there are good things about the relationship. And sometimes it just seems like we are just really different people who are trying to make this work. And I don't know if I should stay or if I should go.
Is he around your age? Is this somebody a little bit younger than you?
He is exactly my age. I mean, he is 2 months older.
Okay, I feel somebody around your age, but he probably has a very young way of, some people can be 38 and they act like 30, I feel like he's acting like he has a very youngish way of I don't know if you see that about him. And I found him very nice as a person. I think he's very good for you, and you have to ask yourself, why is he in my life, and why? What can I do to actually make this work? What can I do to make this relationship what I always wanted to be? I actually feel the first instinct, you go by your instinct. My first instinct says, this is good for you. I don't want you to walk away. Because we create patterns of behavior. So if you walk away from him, the next one you might be tempted to walk away, and you'll continue to walk away, and then you will call me 10 years later and you say, what it is blocking me? What is this issue reoccurring in my life? Because you, as I said, you need to work very hard, and invest so hard in a relationship. So you break that pattern of behavior. So this repetition of the same old doesn't happen again. Does it make sense to you?
It makes total sense.
I feel like you've been doing this to you without realizing. I feel you always thought you probably didn't find the right person, and I think at some degree this is true. You haven't been finding the right guy, but this one I think is different. This one I think is somebody else. Do you know by any chance when he is born? Because there is a way to establish compatibility based on birthday. So I can compare yours with his and see if this is a good match. Because birthdays are like forms of energy. So it shows us the level of evolution, shows us where we are in our life, and if we match somebody or we don't. Do you happen to know when he's born?
I do.
Okay.
His birthday is
Do you mind
July.
telling me? Yeah.
No,
July?
it's July 4,
Okay.
1980.
1980. Okay. Okay. Let me see what's going on with. I like him. He's a very evolved soul. He's very down to earth. Is he an introvert?
No, he's the opposite.
He's the opposite.
Completely
Okay.
extroverted.
Okay, because it can be either way with him, either one way or the opposite. So give me your birthday. Let's see if you guys are a match. When are you born?
September 12th,
1980.
1980.
So the same age. Let's see. Okay. Well, he's a challenge for you. I don't know if you agree with me. He really is a challenge.
He's a complete challenge.
Yeah, he has an incredible connection with his mother. What do you know about that? Do you know anything about the relationship that he has with his mom?
They're very close, and he loves his parents more than anything. He's very.
All I can tell you that,
parents,
that he has and I like people that have a great connection with their mothers, because then they will treat their life partners very well, you know. A man who honors his mom, he's going to honor his wife. And this is a combination that works very well because you're a great communicator, you know what I mean? And you can be very supportive of him, and he can be supportive of you. I think this relationship has a lot of chemistry. I don't know if you feel a connection that is even physical, like physical chemistry. Do you feel that?
I do feel it, but although I get confused by my other feelings, like sometimes I don't even feel like there's anything to talk about with him, and sometimes it doesn't feel like we have real chemistry.
Hold on, Jenny, just a moment. I take a short break, and I'll be back with you in 30 seconds, okay? Hold on the line.
Okay.
1 second.
The best of the holistic, spiritual, and conscious world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
OMTimes magazine is one of the leading online content providers of positivity, wellness, and personal empowerment. A philanthropic organization, their net proceeds are funneled to support worldwide charity initiatives via Humanity Healing International. Through their commitment to creating community and providing conscious content, they aspire to uplift humanity on a global scale. Connect at omtimes.com. OMTimes, creating a more conscious lifestyle.
Hello, I'm Sandy Sedgbeer, host of OMTimes Magazine's flagship radio show, What is Going On? My passion is sifting through information, research, and innovations from new thought teachers, speakers, and researchers, pushing back the boundaries of what we know about life, energy, metaphysics, and the universe. I love shifting perceptions about who we are, why we're here, and how quickly impossible becomes normal when we open our minds, expand our awareness, and accept that the only limits that exist are those we place upon ourselves. So if you're the kind of forward-thinking, eager investigator of what lies beyond the current reality that most perceive, why not make a date to come play with me in the field of possibilities at 4 p.m. Pacific Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time every Thursday, and together we can discover what's really going on.
Hi, this is New Age Grammy winner Paul Avgerinos. Thanks for listening to OMTimes Radio, and please support my peaceful healing music with a purchase at iTunes, Amazon, or wherever you shop for fine music. Just put my name into the search engine, Paul Avgerinos. A, V like Victor, G like George, E-R-I-N-O-S. You can also visit me at roundskymusic.com. Thanks for listening, and I'm wishing you the brightest of blessings.
Melissa from Michigan. I work an extra part-time job serving lunch at my child's school, but I still can't afford to put food on our table.
Daniel from California. Choosing whether to pay the rent or pay to fix the car to get to work doesn't leave us with much at all. Now we can't even pay for meals.
Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org. Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
So I'm back, Carmen Harra on OMTime Radio. I'm with Jenny. So Jenny, at the age of 33, were you in a relationship with somebody? If we're going back.
Yeah, I've sort of been in and out of short-term relationships that never work out.
The reason I'm telling you is that there's a chance of getting married at 33, and there's another big chance of getting ready at 39. And then in my mind, the man I see you with, in my vision, is a guy relatively tall, brown hair, very attractive, very fit, very smart, very put together. I guess he has like lighter eyes. I'm not 100% sure. Does this fit in any way the description of this man?
That sounds exactly like him.
Right. So and I even see him with a jacket. I have exactly an image. I think this is your man. And I think if I'm supposed to make you a prediction, I think you will marry not this year all the way towards the end of 2019, like having like a real wedding. I think it's time. I don't want you to lose the opportunity. You go into the year 6, which is the perfect year to get married. As of the fall of the next year, you are in a year of getting rid of the things things, people, images, memories that you don't need anymore. Like do some kind of a cleansing, like declawed everything that happened, everything that is part of the past that you don't need into your future. And I see you getting married and being very happy. And I don't know if you want a child, but I see you having one child. I don't know if that's something you want, but I still see that happening for you if you want. Now, this man we're talking about, what is anything that has to do with J or G in his family or anybody with that name? And a D like David, Darren, what am I getting here with these initials?
Well, his initials are YB.
Okay. Is there anybody in the family or the people he's close to or the people who play an influence in his life? Does he have a brother?
He does have a brother, and he has one brother who has passed away.
Mm-hmm. And maybe I'm in touch with something because I'm hearing the word brother, and this initial, if you will talk to him, might make some sense. But I personally see this relationship working. It has tremendous potential. You are compatible. So I want you to work on it and don't give up on this man.
Okay.
So that would be my major prediction here, that this is going to work for you. You're in a perfect time. You're in the time to make it happen. Like marrying this man will be somewhere right around your birthday in next year, not this year. So you might take a little bit of more time to adjust. You know what I mean? To adjust to the idea that you can be in a long-term relationship. You have to think, like I said at the beginning of the show, why is this happening to me? What do I really need to do to break through this cycle, to break through this repetition of the same old story happening to me all the time? Do you agree with me?
Right, I agree with you completely.
So I think that you have to do here your part of introspecting why is this happening. And I do believe that you'll be able to break through. And I think your codification talks of either marrying at 33 or marrying at 39. You're a number 3, the best number in numerology, because I do a lot of numerology because I love it. And this man is an 11. He's a very evolved soul. He's very intuitive. He has a big heart. Now, of course, you come in this relationship, both of you, with your own emotion with your own issues from the past, but I think you can complement each other very well. Does he ever talk about getting married, or does he ever talk about committing to you, or do you guys talk about this?
He is serious about us, but he basically needs to have sex before he commits to someone, and I'm the opposite, where I want a commitment before that happens. So we do have major differences, and
so that's a major difference. But I think if that can be worked out, if that you reach common ground, you know, and you both agree on how this can be done in such a way that you are happy and he's happy, then I think you guys can have the family that you both meant to have in this time. He seems to me successful. He seems to me very motivated to do a great. Is he working very hard to make money?
He's working very hard on his career.
Right, that's what I said. This is a guy who will even do better financially after his 40s. This is a guy who appreciates his work very much. He's putting his work first, I think. That's one of the issues. And like any man, you know, men are visual creatures, you know. They're different than us. We're more emotional, we're more intense, we're more caring, we attach more. Men don't attach as much as women do. So you have to think a little bit of his psychology, and you have to think a little bit, how can I reach common ground with this guy, you know what I mean? And we come together, because I do think you will have great chemistry. I do think this can be worked out. I think you have to give up on your differences and let go of everything that is blocking you from being together. I think you can make a great couple. I see you together. I really do. I really do, with all my heart. With all my heart, I think it can be worked out. Whatever impediment you have in here, it's going to go away if you open to communication with him. That's why I asked, do you communicate well?
We used to communicate better, but now when we communicate, it always escalates into an argument or a fight.
No, we don't want to fight. That's the last thing we need. You need to stop the fights. And anytime this escalates, you take a step back and change the conversation into a different direction. And said, we are here just to bring love to each other. We're not here to argue for no reason. So this is where can be created the blockages. The conflict can lead to a separate, when in fact this relationship is meant to work. So something internally within you and within him needs to be fixed, needs to be healed. And I think when it comes to communication, I don't think he's expressing himself clearly. That's what I ask you, if he's an introvert. Somehow when it comes to his own feeling, he is an introvert because he doesn't know how to express himself. And you're not getting clear the message from him. The message is lost. It's like lost in translation. You know, something is lost. I want you to regain faith here, to have a different approach, to work with him differently. And it's almost like I feel that if I can do with you two guys a little bit of a couple therapy, like in 30 minutes we can fix something that has been lingering for a while and is not healed and resolved. I almost feel like you need each other. I think it can be worked out, but it needs a bit of wisdom. And especially from the beginning, eliminate all the conflicts. We don't want interference. We don't want external influence. We don't want arguing. We need to find a way to stop this from happening.
Absolutely. And I would love to have that more than anything with this person.
It will happen. It will happen.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. I really loved everything.
Well, invite me to your wedding.
I sure will. And I will definitely call you back again.
Okay, my Jane. I'm here every Tuesday. You need to tell me what's going on in this situation. Please pick up the phone and let's talk about it. Okay, my lovely Jenny. Thank you so much for calling me. Okay, sweetheart. I'm going to go to Susan. Hi, Susan. How are you, my dear?
Hello, how are you?
So good to talk to you, my dear Susan. How can I help you?
I have a twofold problem, and thank you for taking my concerns.
Absolutely.
I've married for 33 years to my love, who passed away over a decade ago, and gave me two wonderful children, and have communicated through the spirits, and I know he's well, and it was his time.
He's very well. He's very beautiful. He was a good soul, a very kind and loving human being. He shows me an M, and he talks that he's with his mother. His mother is passed too.
Yes, she is.
He found her on the other side, and so they are together. He said they comforting each other, and she's taking very good care of him. And he said that he's watching all the time. He's coming and visiting at 2 a.m. I don't know if you ever wake up at 2 a.m. He said
I don't go to bed till 2 a.m.
Okay,
I'm a night person.
Yeah. So at 2 a.m. there he is, like sitting staring at you, and telling you how beautiful you are. This is somebody who absolutely makes me cry because he really loved you. He loved you, Susan. There's so much love. You rarely see somebody who comes across as genuine, a spirit that comes so real, and it's like he is making me melt, like he's making me feel so happy. He talks about the children. He said, is one of the kids going through some changes right now? Do you have a son with him?
Well, we have two daughters that adore him, and somehow the three of us made it through losing him because it was a shock.
Where is the son? Is one of your girls having a son?
No, I had a son that I lost before I had my children.
Oh, okay. Then that might be it, because I heard the word son, and that can be that he might be with your son. But that I heard the word son, which is interesting, And I heard it from him. He might refer to that, to the fact, to the son that was lost.
That's right.
But one of your girls will have a boy.
Yes, okay.
Yes, so you will have a grandson. So one of your girls will have a son. Your youngest, how young is your youngest?
She's 40.
Okay, can she still have babies?
Yes, she's divorced for 8 years, going through a very, very difficult time.
Well, listen to this. That's why you called the radio show today. She's going to find a man who's a little bit younger than her, 1 or 2 years younger, something like this. And she's going to click and madly fall in love with this man, marry him right away, and have a baby. So nowadays, 40 is not old. Women can have kids at 49, at 52. I'm hearing the stories over and over. So your daughter will have a son. I think that's why you called the show today. So you will be very surprised whatever news you're going to have in 11 months to a year and 3 months from now on. I want you to call me back and give me the good news so I can celebrate with you, something extraordinary that your husband on the other side is making it happen for you. He also says that there is somebody he's sending to you. Did you meet anybody else?
Yes, actually, Carmen, about 4 years after Steve passed away, I met someone that I dated in college. We were New Yorkers, but we moved to Atlanta. But I'm not in love with him. He's in love with me, and I'm wondering if I should end it because there is no chemistry.
No, there is another man coming. This is not the man your husband is talking. He's talking of someone else who comes into your life anything between November to the spring of the next year. Just like that, he just comes into your life, and this is the man that your husband wants you to be, because this is going to be somebody so much better. You're going to have an emotional connection. You're going to have a chemistry. He will be better. He will take care of you. He will be there for you, even for your goals. And this is somebody that is pretty much sent from your husband to you. So it's not this man that you're talking about. This is not the person.
No, the man that I'm with, again, we dated at 18 or 19, but he seems, Carmen, to be suffering from depression or maybe a type of Alzheimer's. He's not doing well.
I think it's more depression. I think he must have some problem with the neurotransmitters. I don't know whether it's, how old is he right now? 60 something?
70.
Or 70. I felt like 69 or something. Yeah.
Exactly.
I think there's something, the chemistry of the brain is off. Depression, definitely. And it might be probably some clinical depression that is not treated. So the relationship with you and him can become difficult. So I want you
for him.
Right, exactly, because he's not doing anything to help himself.
No, he cannot. He thinks he's just fine.
But he's not. So here's what the problem is. He needs to change by waking up and realizing what is really going on with him, and be open to receiving some help. He can be easily helped even with natural. There are natural products that he can take that will help him feel better. So, but I don't really think this is the man you will spend the rest of your life with. And I'm not saying give up on this. I'm saying just open your eyes and open to the message that you're receiving today and pay attention. Who else will come into your life unexpectedly? Totally unexpectedly. Wonderful. And this is somebody who's around your age, but he's in a very good shape. He's very dynamic. He's very lovely. He's somebody who lost his wife too. This is someone who lost his wife 3-4 years ago. So it's like he also will understand what you've been going through. You'll share memories, and you will feel, he feels the way you feel, you know. But this is probably more the man to spend the rest of your life with than with this one, where the connection is kind of broken, and I don't feel there's not too much that you can do. You know what I mean?
No,
so,
and Carmen, I have a lot of energy. I like to go and run and work and hike and travel all over the world. I have tons of energy.
Exactly.
And the poor man that I'm with now just stays home and watches TV.
You don't want to be with somebody who's so down and so demoralized. That's not the person to be with.
It brings me down.
It brings you down. It's like he turns into a little bit of a vampire of energy, so you feel your own energy being affected by the way he acts, the way he thinks, and it's just depressing you too, and you cannot afford to be depressed. So I'm going to go to a break. Hold on the line, Susan, 2 seconds, okay? And we'll be back in a minute.
Of course. Of course.
The best of holistic, spiritual, and conscious world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Ascending Hearts is no ordinary dating site, but a spiritual dating site with a purpose, to link you with your soulmate. We engineer the serendipity so you can trust that you will attune with someone that has the same matching vibration as you. Ascending Hearts, the conscious dating site for the spiritually aware. Try Ascending Hearts for free. AscendingHearts.com.
Hello, I'm Lisa Berry. Join me every Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time for Light on Living. A chance to see new, hear different, and feel more as I shine the spotlight on all the ways to lighten the load of life's challenges. Light on Living is your link to that new way you're looking for, that new understanding that will enhance your life, and that positive connection that will support your growth. So join me and you'll gain insight and start to see things in a new way that motivates you.
Hi, this is recording artist and composer Yuval Ran, inviting you to a voyage through the chakras, a new double album of guided meditations to transform your life, a sublime musical medicine for nourishing inner peace and reaching to your higher virtues. Get it now at metamindfulnessmusic.com. METTA mindfulnessmusic.com.
I'm Fidel Nshambo. I was born in a city called the Bukavu in the Congo. We were a loving family, and then, boom, everything that I had disappeared in a single day. People think that when you are a refugee, and they resettle you to America, and all your problems are done. They don't understand that that's the beginning of everything. I was not born a refugee. I was made one.
It's time we welcome refugee families with open arms. Learn more at embracerefugees.org, brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hello, everybody. I'm Carmen Harra on OMTime Radio. I was talking to Susan. So, Susan, I understand exactly your situation, and I really think that you have to open to a different possibility, and you have to be receptive to something else. And I am a firm believer that in a very short period of time, this person will just appear, will just come into your life, and you have to give yourself this chance by spending time on your own, by going out on your own, so you have a chance of meeting this other person. And don't feel bad, don't feel obligated towards this person who actually drags you down, because it might affect your health, your state of mind, and you don't want to live this way. Do you agree with me? I think I lost you, Susan. Did I? I think so. So I'm sorry, Susan, but okay, Susan. So I guess probably because of the, okay. So let's go to Domingas. Hi, Domingas, my faithful friend. How are you, my dear?
A little bit sad because I missed last time. I wanted the astrology so bad. But what can
you missed last time? Yeah.
Yes, I was waiting for the time, and all of a sudden my husband called and I lost it. I had to talk.
No problem. Well, your husband was most important than anything else. So I'm going to bring her back. But I have a phenomenal lady coming with me next week, which is Glennis McCann. She's the #1 numerologist in the world. She's just fantastic, and she's going to be so great. So if you want to talk to her, call next week, because I'm going to have her as my guest, and you're going to enjoy her. She's been on every TV show. She's very famous. She's very lovely. And she's my friend, and we're going to take people's calls. So if you call next week, try to call like you called today very early, and I'll take your call and I'll connect you with her. And you can feel free to ask and see what she comes up with for you. But how is the relationship now with you and your husband?
Now it's kind of off. We're in a good track. We went to the church to get my kids baptized, even though they're 14 and 11.
Okay.
But then all of a sudden it goes aggressive, and I want my divorce. I want my divorce. He talks very bad on the phone. So it's just like now we're off. Yeah.
So you're saying that he still becomes negative. Somebody's keep on influencing this man, and
so
putting ideas in.
When we get near to love, very close to each other, then he set off. He gets off. Because it's almost like in his mind, he's already made this decision. We're not going to go forward. Everything has ended. But
he's
then
so stubborn.
Because we have the kids, we have the house, we still have the house together. He just set off and just,
Who's influencing this man? Who is influencing him?
Maybe where he's living, he has a lot of maybe old-fashioned mentality.
But is he talking to someone? Because I feel like this man talks to somebody. It can be a family member. It can be one of the closest friends, somebody that is putting things in his head. And one of the worst things that can happen are these outside influences. When you sometimes listen to your sister, your mother, I God knows who is telling you what to do, and you just listen. You allow yourself to be influenced and brainwashed, and I feel like your husband is influenced. I also feel there's somebody he works with who's influencing him. Who is he working with that he sometimes spends time with, going to places, or I feel there's an influence of someone who also goes through a divorce. Is any of his friends going to a divorce too?
I know there are a few people that is in part of his family that had divorce and.
Right. I feel like someone who also goes through the same situation or went through the same situation in the past is keep on telling him, get out of this, do this, and he listens. That's what's so sad, the fact that he listens to other people and allows him. But I still don't see this divorce happening. And you just have to be relaxed and trust the universe by saying, if this divorce is not meant to happen, then something will intervene and something will change the dynamic of what's happening, and I'm going to be fine. So you have to tell yourself this, and you have to act very much in control, never argue with him, be very peaceful, be very confident, be very always polite, and try to listen to him and try to act like you understand. Be like that voice of love and reasoning towards him, and never fight with him. No, there's no reason into that. There's no reason of arguing, you making an argument to him, because he won't necessarily respond the way you expect. But at least you need to be the force who's in control, who's aware that this is not going to actually happen.
Yeah, I'm actually there too. And actually, even we didn't get a new letter from the judge either, because almost 2 weeks now. Sometimes they send a letter for a new section, and we still didn't get it. I don't know, something is going on hold now.
Okay.
Yeah, because we were at the court like on the 14th.
Okay.
And sometimes they send a letter for a new section, but we still didn't get the letter. I don't know if it's kind of off now, or maybe something that's going to be postponed.
Did you request to the judge more time? Like, try to buy time, try to request time for healing, time for reconciliation. The judge has to give you time to reconcile.
Oh, I never knew I could do that, but
absolutely, you can
I don't want
do
a
that.
divorce.
You have to request that you don't have a divorce, and that you truly believe that you don't want to lose him. You truly believe that there's something that can be done to heal the situation. For how long is this going on already?
Almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years. No, I tell you, the more you buy time, the more in the end things will turn around, and he's going to have a change of hearts. I don't think it's coming from him. I think the outside influences plays a very negative role in his decisions. And I want you to just pay attention. Who is he in touch with? Who is he talking? Who's influencing him? Because somebody certainly is influencing him,
It could be, yeah, I think so.
Right. So my opinion is that if you stay true to your decision, and if you pray, and if you ask the judge for time to reconcile and tell him that you care about him, then we can, we can make this, we can work this out. So I feel like time might play in your favor. This is the way I see it. The time plays in your favor. Right.
Okay, so maybe I told the judge I don't want a divorce. I'm religious.
Tell him I don't believe in a divorce. You know what I mean? I have children with this man. I love this man. I want to find a way to go to therapy. I want to request help so that we can heal together. This is the way to do it.
Yeah, I'm actually seeing some priests, and they did a lot of prayer. And for some reason, we were able to go to the church last Sunday together with the kids, so that was a good thing. But then, it was set off again, and I think for some reason, when there's a deep love, I think also that kind of trigger.
No, I think this can be still have like a major U-turn in your favor, in which you can say, hey, I can see the change. I can see him. Trying to come around. I can see him, having a second thought. I can see him coming back to the family. This is the way this needs to be done. Yeah, and it will be. I feel very strong and very good about this.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. At least I'm not being depressed now. Sometimes.
No, don't be. No reason for depression. You have to be strong. This is a challenge. This is the universe is testing you. Life is testing you. So you have to understand this is all happening to make you stronger, and it will, make you stronger.
I've become stronger, I've become stronger and more lovable, humble, very forgiving, everything that a woman can possibly become. I have become, I've been doing my best. And I'm very happy and confident that that who I was is no longer the part of me that was very irresponsible, very It's I'm becoming better person. It's just like at the other side.
This is testing your strength and your desire to stay in the marriage. This is something that you need to continue to work very hard till this is gonna you be able to break through. And one day I think this man will be grateful for all your effort and for your belief in for the faith in your marriage. The day will come when he will kind of wake up and realize. And this is sometimes people need to grow up. People need to realize that they're doing something wrong. He hasn't been aware, but the moment of awareness, I feel something will happen that will wake him up, People can go through episodes in life in which they all of a sudden wake up. And what I think is that something will wake him up. Sometimes what can wake you up is an event in your own life, in your own inside your soul that can make you reflect upon your own mistakes. Because I truly believe what he does here makes no sense and is not a positive move, not for him, nor for you, nor for anybody.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like he's transforming. I think in a relationship, people evolve, people transform, sometimes not in a positive way. There's a transformation that happened in him going in the wrong direction. And then there was a shift that happened in him. We want to evolve the same way like our partner, but it's not always happening this way. So I think it's time to reevaluate, what has been happening within himself. So, yeah, I strongly believe that, something is about to happen here, Yeah. And this is when he's going to say, wait a minute, I'm sorry for whatever I put you through. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you. I really appreciate you.
All right,
that part of life. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the attitude that I want you to embrace. The attitude of not giving up, of fighting for the man that you love, and trying to shift, his mentality, trying to show him the right way, involving the divine interference, because that's why we pray to the divine world, in a way. Whichever God we think is God, we have different gods, but there's one God. So bring the God in your life and say, I need the divine world to help me here. I can do it on my own. I want this man to wake up and see the light and see the truth. Yes.
Yeah.
And value your marriage, and value you, and value his kids, and acknowledge what he's doing wrong, and understand that that's not the right course of action. And he will see that. So then your problem will go away, and you will be fine.
Thank you. Many blessings.
Okay, my love. Really many blessings to you, my love.
And that I know will make a lot of change and a lot of shifts because
right.
very good
okay,
person.
My lovely.
I start your show, everything is a lot better in a way.
Good, and it's gonna get even better. Just things get better, Dominga. That's the way to embrace life, by seeing that life moves in the right direction. You can't afford to allow it to move in the wrong direction. You can't afford that. So
yes.
I'm here for you, and anytime you need me, feel free to call me. Call next week. I have that great guest, so if you have a moment, feel free to call next week. But anytime, you are my friend, and you're very welcome to the show anytime you call my Domingas. Stay strong. Okay, my love.
Bye-bye.
Have a good night. So I don't know if I still have Susan on the line.
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, beautiful Susan. Yes, so... Yes, so that I was just talking to myself at some point when I came from the break, because I thought you were on the other line. But
that's okay.
Susan, I want to be here for you. So anytime you need me, as I planted a seed into something else in your mind, and I want you to light a candle to the spirit of your late husband and thank him for coming to the conversation and just showing you something different and kind of guiding you into cut the cord with something that is not healthy for you, that is not for the future, and try to look into a new beginning,
I will, but the real reason I called you was I've been trying to sell a home for a year and a half. I'm lucky enough to have.
You will sell. I think, I don't know who you're selling. Is it a man you're selling it with?
It's a lady, very nice lady. But
it's a lady.
But it's
Okay.
a year and a half, and it's making me very nervous.
I feel like if it's the same person who's trying to sell it, she doesn't succeed to sell, you need to change to a different person. And I feel there's a man selling your house, not the woman. So if there is a way for you to look who else can be selling me the house, because she's been unsuccessful for such a long time, that change the realtor who does it. That's how I feel. And I think you're going to be very surprised to see that the moment you change that energy, your house will sell in the next 2-3 months after waiting such a long time. Thank you, Susan, for calling me. I came to the end of the show. Thank you, everybody, for listening to Old Time Radio. I'm Carmen Harra with Christopher, my favorite person on earth. So I'll be with you next week on Time Radio, same place, same time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you so much for listening. God bless.